Guys, what is going on? Back again with another Arbitrum ecosystem update. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice, and everything I say is my opinion and my opinion alone. Probably a vast majority of this video today is going to be Farcaster focused, both on the announcement by the Arbitrum Foundation and also just my thoughts on the platform in general and where I see kind of crypto social taking, taking a lead in the coming years. But let's just jump right into it. So obviously, first tweet here by the Arbitrum Foundation. We're excited to announce that Arbitrum transaction support is now live on Farcaster. To celebrate this integration, we're hosting Frame It, a build-a-thon for developers to create frames on Arbitrum with essentially $500,000 USD in retroactive rewards. Very, very exciting stuff. Very big announcement too. And by the way, I said tweeted earlier. This is technically a cast, not a tweet, because we are on Warpcast here. Let's break it down a little bit. So pretty much, for those of you who don't know, Warpcast is essentially Warpcast. There's multiple layers to it, but you can look at Warpcast as a client on top of Farcaster, which is kind of like I think they call themselves a sufficiently decentralized social protocol. Now, essentially, the biggest difference that from like a user standpoint that you'll see when using Warpcast, because you can see it looks similar in design to Twitter. Is the fact that they have these things called frames that allow you to essentially build apps like crypto apps like DeFi, NFTs, mint, stuff like that, trading things, any kind of NFT or any kind of app that you would usually use that are crypto related, you can use in feed. So, I don't have it pulled up here. I'm not going to do it just because it'll take me a little while probably to find one. But essentially, you can interact with the blockchain directly in your feed. It's like if you were able to like swap tokens directly on Twitter, right? While you're scrolling through. So probably at a dumbed down version, that's kind of what Warpcast is to the average individual. And what the Arbitrum Foundation announced here today is that you can now integrate Arbitrum specific dApps or essentially just build them from scratch, specifically designed for Warpcast here or Farcaster. The cool thing I think about this is that I think it might be one of the first like official build-a-thons for frames. I know Base has done their own kind of thing. Base is kind of primarily the platform that people the chain that people kind of build frames on currently, but hopefully with this build-a-thon by Arbitrum, we'll see a lot more kind of being created and hopefully even just new ones just generally coming out, of course using Arbitrum, using the Arbitrum chain. What did I want to say? So there were a couple of things. So one is obviously I'm very excited, and even just like seeing like people excited to build stuff, I think just gets me like people's excitement excites me. That's weird. Is that a weird thing to say? This guy over here actually casted, what's your favorite Arbitrum app to use, friends? I want to make an Arbitrum frame for it, maybe Pendle or something else like that. Like people are just eager to make things or to build things, like it just within that kind of community either way. So obviously this additional incentive, with monetary rewards will, supercharge that, right? And I think like, at least personally, I'm kind of hoping to see a couple things. For me, it's like one, an obvious Senko integration, right? And obviously, this doesn't have to be the Senko team necessarily. It could easily be like a frame that like allows people to buy passes within Farcaster, or like somehow view streams within Farcaster and tip their favorite streamers. Something like that, I think, would be like such a great kind of integration. And then just generally speaking, just more experimentation with DeFi and kind of like, I don't know, just really maximizing the kind of I'd argue maximizing like the left curve stuff that you can do with this such a simple interface that frames are. And for what it's worth, I think like if you're a builder, if you're a dev, if you build things on Arbitrum today, I highly recommend you take a look at this. If nothing else, just because you're essentially accessing a new pool of users. Like this is essentially a new market for you to give people access to your app through. That's the way to look at it. And obviously, some people, not every Farcaster user likes DeFi. Not every Farcaster user likes NFTs or anything in particular like that. But I think it's good to experiment and see kind of if this ends up giving your protocol more marketing or more users essentially at the end of the day, right? I think that was kind of the whole point of the whole integration and announcement, generally speaking. But Farcaster is definitely a growing platform. They also announced today that they raised $150 million. Led by Paradigm, A16Z, USV, Variant, Hound, and Standard Crypto. I think Mert from Helios, I think, also mentioned that he invested into this. Pretty cool. Dude, I am not going to lie. And, I think they said they're worth like, I think the valuation's about $1 billion right now. Insane. I've technically been using Crypto Social for a long time. I was around during the Hive days, Steam it. I used Library and now Odyssey. I've used a lot of different kind of crypto content platforms, and I don't. It's not that I think that like one does anything better than the other. Um, I just think that Farcaster and Warpcast, the community that's been built there, is just extremely, extremely strong, and the mind share is very valuable. So if nothing else, I think Dan and the rest of the Farcaster team has done an amazing job just staying extremely lean. I think they're like 13 people, and just building stuff that people like, and just making a product that like people keep coming back to. So, yeah, congrats to them on that raise. Really looking forward to seeing kind of more people hopefully sign up. And I look forward to the day that Farcaster, or in this case, Warpcast, or whatever other client develops from it, becomes just a good social media app, not just a good crypto social media app. Anyways, that was a long one, I think. Yeah, that was 6 minutes. Wow, that was a long one. Yeah. All right, moving on. We don't. I wanted to make sure I did most of my commentary on that today. We have a tweet here by D20. This is D20, who is, yes, partnerships at Offchain Labs. Obviously, I know that already. I don't know why I checked. He says, stoked to welcome Duper to Arbitrum, a fully on-chain game of diplomacy with real stakes. Free-to-play games open tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, with the first ranked mode kicking off on Friday at 9 p.m. Let the backstabbing begin. This is pretty dope. So it seems like this is as Jack said, a real stakes, an on-chain social war game with real stakes in it. They go more into detail about what it actually is below, but it is safe to say that the teams on Arbitrum are taking gaming to a whole nother level and really making sure that everything is on chain. So shout outs to Duper for launching on Arbitrum. Really looking forward to you guys. Looking forward to the alpha. Hope that goes well. And if you're obviously a gamer, if you're into on-chain games, make sure to check them out. Shouts to Duper. Speaking of games, we have a tweet here by Carell from Treasure. He says, Arbitrum's $200 million gaming catalyst program is out on Tally. On-chain vote to initiate in 3 days. LFG. I feel like that means let's freaking game, right? Huh? I'm sorry. That was terrible. Pretty exciting stuff. So for those of you who don't know, this the Arbitrum Gaming Catalyst Program, or the AGCP, was previously, it's been in development, I think, for a while now. It passed, people, they discussed with people in the forums, they've discussed with delegates. It passed it passed the snapshot vote a couple of weeks ago, I think. And now they're finally going with the on-chain vote. This is going to be the one that, essentially, if it passes, it's done. Like, the proposal will get funded, and they'll start, I guess, building out the program. And it looks like actually managing like an entire team of people to run this thing. It's pretty insane. For what it's worth, too, Carl said here it's $200 million worth. It just depends on the price of ARB. To be honest, I think when they first announced this, the price of ARB was like $2 and something cents. So like it was like a $500 million program. Right now it's about $200 million. So depending on how the market goes in the next couple of months, we'll see how much funding they really have. But nonetheless, this is most likely slated to be the most amount of money ever, I think, spent on a gaming kind of bootstrapping program ever. I think crypto or otherwise. It's a lot of, it's almost, think about it. Especially if ARB goes anywhere higher, again, not financial advice, you could see this thing hitting close to essentially before $500 million. Insane. But shout outs to Carell, Zai, and as well as the other folks who contributed to this proposal. I know it's a lot of work. And frankly, I think whether it passes or not, I think it's a huge achievement just from everyone from a coordination standpoint. Although it does seem like it is going to pass. Judging based off of the snapshot vote, let's see. Again, very excited to see the DAO, of course, convene on things and kind of figure out what they value the most. Speaking of Zai, we have a tweet from them. They say the first Zai Halving event has been completed. This marks a significant milestone in the growth of the Zai gaming ecosystem. Your unwavering support has been instrumental in our rapid growth and success. We are grateful for your dedication. Now, I'm not covering this necessarily because I hold any Zai. I actually don't hold any Zai. I'm covering it because I feel like the direction that Zai, and obviously, shouts to Sobi in particular, is taken kind of with growing Zai and the Zai community and ecosystem is it almost feels like they took the great parts about OG crypto projects and like the ICO era, 2017, and meshed it with tech and stuff that can scale today. Like Zai is essentially the how do I say it? They were the start. They essentially ignited the node sale meta that almost every L2, L3 feels like they're doing nowadays, doing node sales. And I didn't even realize this, but Zai, the token itself, has halving events too. I don't know how many other tokens have halving events nowadays, especially new ones like this, right? Obviously, if it's especially if it's like a L2 based token or anything like that, I feel like most of them don't. But it's again, like I said, it feels like Zai is kind of taking notes out of the book from each era of each era of different crypto bull markets and meshing it together to make it work for their protocol. So I don't know. I just wanted to kind of give them a shout out there. Love to see Zai killing it. I was actually in a Spaces the other day with Zai, Crypto Unicorns, Camelot, just kind of talking about their Crypto Unicorns migration over to Zai. All great people, all amazing people. Speaking of Spaces, I'm actually going to be on one later on tonight with Ivory from Open Dollar. Yep. Oh, sorry, Open World Fi, technically. That's a good point, actually. Open World Fi, I should say, not Open Dollar. The word open there was there. I'm sorry. Nonetheless, I'll be on the space with them tonight, May 21st, today, 10 p.m. Eastern. They'll be talking about the news and different market developments and whatnot. I'll just be there talking about Arbitrum stuff. I honestly don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about Arbitrum. Just talk. That's all I'm going to do. I'm talking, which is fine. I'm cool with that. But that being said, guys, let's see. It still looks like we're on track for the Ethereum ETF going live in 2 days. I put out a tweet earlier. I'm like, at this point, if the ETF actually does not pass, I think everything just goes to zero. I'm convinced. Like the market at this point, I think is priced in the Ethereum ETF. Let me not say that. I don't want to say it's priced in, but they've essentially ETH was up like 20% yesterday. Does it go up more after the ETF passes? Maybe not. It just seems like if it doesn't pass, I don't even want to look at my computer screen for the next couple of days if it doesn't. But we are crossing our fingers, hoping that it does. It does seem like it's going to be that way anyways, frankly. But nonetheless, guys, thank you for watching as usual. I'm talking my head off, and I'll catch you guys on the next one, all right? Peace out.